Hey guys, welcome back to the Obi Thorin Alliance. What are we doing today, Jacob?
Luke is reviewing a show on Stan called Pitch Perfect Bumper in Berlin.
So if you want to find out what I think about Bumper in Berlin, stick around. So, Bumper in Berlin. So this show, as Jacob mentioned, it's called Pitch Perfect Bumper in Berlin. So it's a spin-off of the Pitch Perfect movie, which were a smash hit when they came out. And this is the first of possibly other spin-offs. The fact that they've called it Pitch Perfect specifically at their name makes me think that maybe they are going to make spin-offs of other characters. So this show focuses around Bumper, who in the first movie was kind of a villain as such. He was the head of the male a cappella group. Somewhat of a likable character, falls in love with Rebel Wilson's character throughout the movies, and they never end up being together in the end. This show takes off where he is still a security guard at the university where the Pitch Perfect movies are set. He enjoys being there because he gets free access to their theatre, and he still has his Pella Men's group on, but he posts stuff on TikTok and he still dreams of becoming famous. One of his TikToks comes famous in Germany, of all places, for some of the right and wrong reasons. So he goes over there, gets a mystery call from a German agent and says, "Hey mate, you're going to be famous, come over here, I'm going to make you a superstar." So he goes over there and the show follows him trying to become a superstar in Germany with the dream of being on the lineup for Unity Fest, which is a festival they host on Unity Day, which is a big thing. Whether or not that's true, but in the show it's a big thing. So that's the aim that he wants to be on this show. So it's a bit of an interesting show. It's a comedy. It involves music where he is in fact singing to the crowd and singing to other people because he wants to be a singer, but there also is musical scenes where they break into song and dance. I'm guessing we're meant to imagine that's kind of in their head. It's not actually happening. People in the street don't start joining in song and dance in real life. So it's kind of funny that it's got two lots of singing. It doesn't really have long songs. Each song they only play for, a maximum of 30 seconds, which is probably something that let it down. I would have liked to have seen larger musical numbers. But overall, it's very funny. It has, typical, jokes kind of about German culture and German people. The premise is quite simple and, it's kind of a predictable ending and it's what you'd expect. But, overall, I did laugh and it's what I expected. I didn't think a masterpiece, but I thought it was going to be enjoyable. You got any questions for me about the show?
How many episodes does it have?
There's 8 episodes in this show, and they're all, around that half-hour mark, so quite easy to get through. They might even be less than that. They might even be around 20 minutes. So I ended up watching the whole season in, sub 3 hours, so it was pretty easy to watch in one whole sitting.
Okay. Do you feel like that if you didn't watch the movies, you would need to understand the show, or this is something that you could watch without watching the movies?
I think you could watch it without watching the movies because there's not too many references made to it. I think it would, the experience wouldn't be the same. I think the experience wouldn't be quite the same, but you could definitely watch it without seeing the movies. You've just got to maybe do a bit of research and find out who Bumper is and why a cappella is important. But the show kind of moves away from a cappella, which is obviously what was important in Pitch Perfect. It has a really good cast, which is one of the things I liked about it the most. Any other questions for me?
Do you feel like is there possibilities for a season 2, or this is kind of a one-off for a character that didn't get a movie?
I think it could have a season 2. It doesn't end on a cliffhanger or anything, but it doesn't end with, the chapter closing. Like he doesn't, become a superstar and then that's the end, everything for him and all these problems go away. It kind of ends with him still chasing that original journey. So I think that does make me think that there will be a season 2 or there's possibility for. I don't think there's longevity in multiple seasons. Ultimately, once he becomes a superstar, the show's not really interesting anymore because he's kind of that goofy, underdog. And then once the goofy underdog has success, the story's not interesting anymore. So I think maybe you might get one more season or so, but it's definitely unique. I think that was one of the best things about it.
And what's the good factor about it?
It was quick and easy to watch. It was a good laugh and it was fun. That's really, it was just simple. It didn't take, it wasn't complex. It's just very easy to watch.
And the bad?
The bad, I think I would have liked to have seen a bit more musical numbers in it, or longer musical numbers. The things kind of happened pretty easily for the character. Like the story got pushed along quite quickly, like moving to Germany and starting to, things happen for him. He went from, being down on his luck to it going on the rise pretty quickly. I think maybe it could have been a bit longer or a bit more of a struggle to get there. I think it happened just a bit too easy. That's probably it.
So what was your verdict for the show?
I gave the show 74%. I think that's a fair mark. Its casting is where it was at its strongest point. It was quite entertaining. Visually, there's nothing too amazing about it visually. Its plot was simple in nature. Maybe it could have been a bit more complex, but too much would have been, too hard. I think it would have lost interest. So I think for an 8-long short series that was comedy based surrounding Capella, I think that's a fair rating. But I think it did exactly what it needed to be, and I don't really expect any more. I'm happy with what it did, and I'm looking forward to being future seasons if there is.
Any final thoughts?
If you've seen the Pitch Perfect movies, I think you should watch it. I think it's it's only going to take up maximum 3 hours out of your life to watch it, and you won't be unentertained. You might think it's a simple concept and you didn't take much away from it, but I would be surprised if you weren't at least entertained along the way.
Well, thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. Comment down below if you've seen the show. Hit the notification bell. Let the force be with you. See you in the next video and stay awesome.